John Lewis, one of the UK's oldest department stores, is taking a bold step into the future, becoming the first major British retailer to sell dresses to girls and to boys.
It's not right. They should have gender separation.
I think it's fine. I think it's 2017. We're moving on.
The retailer has replaced all gender labels on its children's clothing with ones that cater to both girls and boys. It's also introduced non-gender specific clothing lines, such as dresses that feature dinosaurs instead of daisies.
Why do you want to give all the boys in Britain a choice to wear dresses?
And in so doing, they've sparked a national and at times nasty debate.
Sure, but just because your friend doesn't listen.
On the airwaves and online, critics condemn the retailer's decision as political correctness gone mad.
It's saying to children that boys and girls are the same, and that is just simply not true.
But those in favor say the retailer is removing harmful stereotypes.
It's unfair because
this 8-year-old recently recorded this video inside her local clothing store, ranting about the difference between boys' and girls' shirts. It's received more than 1 million views online.
We saw a couple of weeks ago one that said, little boy, big ideas, and another one that said, little
girls, big smiles.
And what did you think of that?
It was just really frustrating that the girls one had smiles, but that couldn't have ideas.
And these days, gender-neutral clothing is increasingly in fashion. Gucci and Givenchy catwalks regularly blur gender boundaries. And popular retailers H&M and Zara recently released their first ever unisex collections.
So this is our forest footprint.
Along with a growing number of independent designers.
I'm not saying to anybody, you can wear that or you can't wear that. So from a business point of view, it's really positive because I'm selling to twice the amount of people.
Fashion can be fickle, but industry observers say unisex clothing for all ages represents much more than a passing trend. Jeff Semple, Global News, London.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. This video in no way, shape, or form is promoting hate speech against the LGBT or transgender or genderless people at all. It is an opposing view that I have and many people have on this absolute child abuse that is taking place. Now, you're seeing this spread like a virus, okay? Obviously, we already know that they have genderless clothes. This is a big brand that is now promoting gender-neutral clothing, and we're going to see this continue to speed up and become widespread. It is absolutely insane. We all know that it's insane, and it's amazing to me that people are okay with this stuff. Now, a subscriber passed this along to me in Orange County, California. This is unbelievable. The parents of public school children cannot opt out of instruction in gender identity, gender expression, and sexual orientation. So in other words, if your child is in this specific county, and this is going to spread, okay? If your child is in this specific county and he's in the public school system, and there's a class on gender identity and gender expression, your child has to be subjected to it. He has to attend it. And you might say, well, how come this is going on? Why is that? Well, this actually goes back to Planned Parenthood. What a surprise. Comprehensive sexual health is a national curriculum that was initiated by Planned Parenthood in 2010, a national organization formerly known as Parents, Families, and Friends of Lesbians and Gays. It started as a movement to prevent bullying and to make schools more inclusive and tolerant of kids who may not identify themselves as a boy or a girl. All right, just more of this insanity where people could just, be whatever they want. I mean, you could just look at, you type this stuff in and, what's going on and with these celebrities and things like that. All these celebrities are raising their kids gender neutral, pink, Justin Timberlake, right? I mean, you think that this is a coincidence or this is an agenda? Jaden Smith tweeting out the other day, if I want to wear a dress, then I will. Just more of the do without will mindset. Now, remember, the whole genderless notion goes back to the Baphomet. That's right, folks. Everybody's favorite goat with breasts and a penis. There are literally people who are having ritual blood ceremonies who are worshiping this goat who has breasts and a penis. And we're the crazy ones, right? Read the comments under some of the videos. People are like, you guys are all crazy, worshiping the invisible person in the sky. Even though there's nothing but proof that God existed, that the Bible is real. They hide all these places where you can actually see evidence. Okay? So many people have gone out there. You know, I forget the guy's first name, Ron Wyatt, I believe, and discovered a lot of this stuff, but that's another story for another day. But these people are worshiping the Baphomet, and that's the mindset, right? If I want to wear a dress, then I will. Now, these schools are going to be refusing to allow these children to opt out of these courses. So, in other words, children as young as 12 years old are going to get forced into these classes where they're going to be nothing but confused. Imagine the stuff that they're going to do. They're going to be like, oh, okay, all the boys this week are going to have to dress as girls in class, and you're going to be forced to do it. And then one of the kids probably gets confused. He probably likes it, or he likes the attention he's getting, and suddenly we have a brain-dead child who has now decided to switch genders, right? And this stuff is spreading, like I said, like a virus. And it is so insane to me that people actually are just like, no, it's normal. It's a normal thing. Okay? How is it normal? Can somebody explain how this is normal? How is this being forced on kids? I mean, this is just another reason to get your kids out of the public school system. I know it's hard for people out there. I know you got to work, okay? And both parents have to work the way they've set this matrix up now because they want the kid to be raised by the school, right? Raised by this false, indoctrination of lies that the school system is. And then they just keep telling them the same stuff year after year. They learn nothing to succeed in the real world. All they're doing is brainwashing their perception of reality. And that's why they're using repetition year after year. Science, social studies, same lies, same lies, same lies. Okay? It is hard for a parent to be able to raise a child on their own because they have to work. So they're stuck with this stuff. But as citizens, people should be going crazy over this stuff. They have no right to tell you that your child has to attend a gender identity course, gender expression. I mean, look, the California Healthy Youth Act concluded that the law was specifically written so that parents of public school children cannot opt out of instruction of gender identity, gender expression, and sexual orientation, or they'll be breaking state law. How insane is this? They are forcing all of this stuff on everyone, and no one's doing anything about it. And when we speak against it, we get censored for hate speech, right? I mean, it's like you can't have the opposite opinion. You can't think that this is child abuse because this is child abuse. Look at the video that I played at the beginning. How young were those poor children? I mean, you're talking about 2-year-olds that are, getting dressed up in opposite clothes. Parents are just destroying these kids. And now we're going to have more parents doing it because they're going to think it's the normal thing to do. And they're going to want to post it on their Facebook and their Twitter because they're going to want people to think that they're politically correct. So they can go, look, my 1-year-old, I'm dressing him/her/whatever it wants to be. And I'm putting it in, it's a girl, so I'm going to dress it in boy clothes and vice versa. People are going to go, that's so wonderful of you. You're doing the right thing. Wait till the child wants to choose what it wants to be. And then you go, does anybody realize what's between their legs? Is anybody looking down there going, oh, right? Like I always say, the kindergarten cop scene, right? Girls have vaginas, boys have penises. I mean, simple as that. Basic 101, right? But it's almost like they're telling you like 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 anymore. They're just changing the rules and everything. And everybody's just going, oh, okay, well, it's 2018 now. We have to evolve and adapt. Huh? Have to evolve and adapt? I mean, we have people who are marrying chandeliers. I mean, check out some of the videos. We have people who are dressing up as dogs getting walked in the park, taking dumps on themselves. And the problem with all this stuff is this is directed and targeted at children. Children should not be learning this stuff in school. This is poison. Parents should not be pushing this onto their kids. And the reason it needs to be discussed is that parents need to snap out of this trance and realize that this is child abuse. That's all that it is. And more of these big brand, stores are going to be doing this. Sooner or later, every store is just going to have genderless bathrooms. All the clothes are going to be mixed together. And people go, well, what's the big deal? Well, we know that they mock God. Everything they do is to do the opposite of what God wants. God's laws, right? They want to mock God any way possible. What does Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5 tell us? The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do are abomination unto the Lord thy God. So we know the Baphomet is genderless. We know that their whole goal is to have a one everything, one gender, there won't be races anymore. You know what I mean? It's just going to be, it's like a black person's no longer going to be a black person. A white person's no longer going to be a white person, or Caucasian, or whatever you want to say. An Asian person's not going to be Asian. It's going to be one religion, one currency. That's why it's a one world order, one world government. It's insane. It absolutely is. So they mock God, they mock us, and they abuse these kids, and then we get called hate speech for it. It's spreading like a virus. It is out of control. It really is. I'm so concerned about the kids out there, the youth. And I'm not even just talking about teens. I'm talking about 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-olds. Your parents are doing this to them. Then these kids grow up and they have no idea what's going on. You got a boy wearing girls, he thinks that's normal. And then, and people are like, oh, that is normal. Huh? Everybody's just losing their minds. They really are. And I know there's tons of fluoride in the water and chemicals in the food, and people are going nuts, and there's vaccinations, and there's, chemtrails, everything. But how do we get to this point where parents are doing this to their kids and people are saying it's okay? How do we get to a point where we are allowing these schools, okay, and, they have to tell us, the state and the government has to tell us, the curriculum that they teach, right? And everybody's obviously under mind control, so they think all the stuff that they learned is what their kids should learn because they don't realize that they were indoctrinated with lies their entire life because they've been programmed through repetition. Now they're saying, okay, well, we're not going to listen to any of the parents, and if we want to teach your kid and tell your kid that he could be any gender he wants, that he could be a lamp if he wants, that he could be a back scratcher if he wants, that he could be an alarm clock, he can do that because we're not having any gender rules. It's gender fluidness or whatever they call it. Everyone's losing it. We need to take back, we need to do something. There needs to be pushback in certain cases. I know that we can't stop everything from happening. I understand that it's going to happen. But stuff like this, because this affects children. This is abuse. And it's disgusting that we live in a world where we're watching parents do this to their own children. Unbelievable. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.